Hello and welcome, I'm Liam, the music reviewer. This is the penultimate video of this season, which will be me talking about 69 albums I'm excited for in 2019. Don't worry about that number too much, I'm sure it was just a weird coincidence. But yeah, no rules for this list, just 69 albums that are either confirmed, rumoured, or just ones that I think I would be really happy to see come out, because it's just nice to be optimistic around this time of the year. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm probably just going to go through these in different speeds or that, just so this video doesn't go on for far too long. But starting off, Alex Cameron says a new album's coming out. I believe that, and considering how good Force Witness was, it's probably going to be pretty tasty. Alt J, I think maybe near the tail end could surprise us with something, but I think they've been consistently quite good. Always as well, they had an EP of B-sides last year, so I wonder if in the meantime they've been working on something again. Maybe it's definitely like gonna cross my fingers hoping something will happen there, but it will happen when it happens. LP3 by American Football. Now this one's definitely coming out in the next few months. I think it's March, I can't remember for sure, but the two singles that have been released so far have been damn nice, so I've got high hopes for this one. This might feel like the proper return of them. Andre 3000, as always, just hoping he'll release a full-length thing, but his EP last year was pretty good. Aphex Twin as well, again another artist. This is a recurring theme where an artist drops an EP, so I just kind of assume that something's going to be in the works. But if something does, then I'm sure we won't be turning our nose up at it, since Collapse was a return to form, I'd say. Biffy Clyro are releasing a film soundtrack and a studio album. I'm looking more forward to the studio album because I think the film soundtrack might be a bit sort of safe. I don't know what will happen there. 9, I've got Blank Banshee, who I don't know if a lot of you have listened to, but their music I think it's quite chill wave, vapor wavy, and very soothing for the most part for me. At 10, Bombay Bicycle Club, who have said they're coming back this year. Well, they have an album out. We'll definitely get a single, I think, and maybe some tour dates. But I'm holding out hope that we get some sort of album, because when So Long See You Tomorrow came out, when that came out compared to now, like, that's been half a decade, which feels like forever to me. And then we've got Bon Iver, who I'm fairly sure said that he's got something near completion. Justin Vernon did anyway. So here's hoping that we do, because 22 Million was a definite change, but a change for the better, I'd say. 12 got Brockhampton, this will be another entry in the Best Years of Our Lives trilogy, and considering how good Iridescence was, I'm hoping that it'll kind of continue that same formula. 13 Carly Jepsen, obviously that should be coming out fairly soon. Very excited to see what happens there, considering how Emotion has such a special place in my heart. 14 Car Seat Headrest, might not happen, but I'm thinking that we could see something. I think considering how early on Twin Fantasy came out last year, I feel like maybe we could see something happening late this year. And then at 15, Charli XCX has said she's going to have an album coming out for ages. Pop 2 came out late 2017. We're going to get something this year, I'm absolutely sure of it. 16, Childish Gambino, I think he's having his last album underneath the Childish Gambino name, as far as I know. I feel like it'd be silly not to release it fairly soon, considering how good, both in terms of quality and popularity, that This Is America was. Code Orange as well at 17, released one of my favourite albums of 2017. The numbers are getting mixed up there, but they released one of the best albums of 2017. So yeah, I'm hoping that they'll come back, especially because their albums seem to come out fairly in quick succession. 18 got Cold as Sewer, a Glasgow kind of college rock punk band, and I know it's coming out for sure because I've interviewed the band. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see, especially because I always like keeping in touch with what's happening here in Scotland. And then at 19 I've got Corbin, who, if you haven't listened to, he released Mourn back in 2017 as well. Very emotional, chilling music, which can get very kind of disturbing at points, but because more of the performances and what he has to say as opposed to any sort of soundscapes. But yeah, I'm hoping that he'll have something out this year, because I was a real big fan. I was really surprised by how much I was interested in his music. 20, we've got Crywank, great name I know, but I know for sure they're dropping something fairly soon, and they seem really confident about it, which in turn has me confident about what they might make here. At 21, we've got The Cure, one of the best bands of all time, and I don't think they would return without having something to prove. So I feel like this could be something really special. 22, I've put Daft Punk because you put Daft Punk on your anticipated albums list every year because it's been a while since Random Access Memories, so maybe we'll get something. 23, you've got Danny Brown, who says he is releasing something with a legendary hip hop producer. And I trust the expression. I've said time and time again how it's one of my favourite albums of all time, so I'm obviously going to be excited for this. And then at 24, got Death Grips, because they release something every single year, so of course they're going to have something out in 2019. I don't think they're going to break that pattern anytime soon. 25, got Disclosure, who I hope will return to like settle levels of quality. I'm sure Buffalo Staple will agree with me there. Not that their 2015 album, I think it was, but not that it was bad at all. It just was kind of like a step down, but I feel like they've taken enough time that they'll make something quite tight. 26, got Dizzy Rascal, especially after the No Gas EP. I think we could get something in a longer form that keeps that energy and just that entertainment up. Then at 27, got Everything, who released an EP last year. I feel like we're due something. I hope we do, because Get to Heaven is absolutely phenomenal, one of the best art rock albums I've ever heard. Then at 28, got Fire to a Misty, who, according to my two friends, Josh and Andy of the podcast and of real life as well, they said that he said that he's gonna be releasing a new album every year, and I feel like that could be true. Especially because of how like we had Pure Comedy 2017, God for a Customer in 2018. I don't think it's something that sounds absolutely ridiculous to me. And number 29, we've got Everything Not Saved will be released by Foles. This will be a 2-part album. The first half I think is meant to be a lot groovier, the second a lot heavier, so I'm excited to see that. It's been about 4 years since the last Foles album, and I like that one. I think Foles have been consistently quite good, even if I think Antidote is their best album. Then at 30, Frank Ocean, because of course you're going to have Frank Ocean on your anticipated albums list, but I wonder if this will be it, because it feels like we've been like listening and eating on Endless and Blonde for quite a while now, but that might just be because I'm just always hankering for some new Frank Ocean. 31, we've got Grimes. It's going to be our last album with 4AD, I think it is. I feel like she'll just kind of go all out on this, just kind of just act however she wants, which excites me quite a fair bit. 32, we've got Hatchie, wonderful dream pop artist, and it's going to be her debut record. I feel like she'll impress. 33, The Hotelier, had an album out in 2014, Home Like No Places There, one of my favourite albums of the decade. Then they had an album in 2016, The Goodness Part 2, was that what it was called? I can't remember sure what the album was called, but it was solid, but I think that they were kind of like 2 years apart, so I think we're kind of due something here as well. 34, Igloo Ghost, he's been talking about album 2 for a while, and I think he works quite quick, so I think we will see something. It'll be interesting to see how much of an evolution of sound he's going to go for here, because I complained about the EPs were that they were a bit similar, but because they were EPs wasn't too much of a gripe at all. But I wonder how much it will change for this one. We know we've got a new Injury Reserve album on the way. I reviewed the latest track, Jawbreaker, just a few days ago, so you can go check that out, see what my thoughts are on that. 36, got Charli XCX. I just hope something comes out, because In Colour was absolutely phenomenal, and XX dropped something in 2017, so I think that's enough time for him to make a solo effort, I hope anyway. Jeff Rosenstock as well, I think might release something, because the time frame between Worry in 2016 and then when it came to Post, that was like a year and a bit, so I feel like that's enough time for him to work, but he is touring a lot, so I'm not sure how likely that might be. Jenny Haval as well, her EP last year was just incredible, so maybe we'll see something from her this year, I hope anyway. 39, I put JME, who has just been waiting about for ages, man. Like in terms of Graham releases, like he's waiting a fair amount of time, but I know he's working on something, because he is constantly talking about it on Twitter. Can't wait for that. And then at 40, I put JPEGMAFIA, because he seems to also work quite quickly, especially I think he wants to kind of like strike while the iron is hot, I think is the saying. I think he's going to try and do that, especially after how well Veteran did in January. I think it was January of last year, so again he's had a year at the time of recording this to be working on something, so I think he will. And at 41, I put Julian Baker, just because everyone from that group, the Boy Genius group, seems to be doing a lot of work either just before or since then. Like Phoebe Bridgers and Lucy Dacus have been working quite a bit, so I think we're due to see something from Julian Baker quite soon. Kanye West, we know, is going to be dropping Yandhi at some point whatever he feels like. But I thought the Wyoming projects were interesting, so I wonder how much that he's learned from that to apply to an actually good Kanye solo project. Animal Crossing by Kazumi Totaka, because we're going to get a new Animal Crossing game, which means we'll get a new soundtrack, and those soundtracks are always just beautiful, so beautiful. So I'll be looking forward to that. I think we might get a new Kendrick Lamar album. If we don't, I won't be crying my eyes about it, because I do want this to be like a real like next chapter for him. So if we have to wait another year, I won't mind, but I wouldn't mind seeing something at the tail end of this year. I think we could. 45 King Gizzards have said they are going to be making something this year, because they took last year out, very rightfully so, after how busy they were in 2017. 46 put Karen J. Callanan, very much for the same reason put Alex Cameron. They kind of released albums at the same time, and I just think yeah, for some reason I've just got this gut feeling that, well, I haven't actually read anything about it, but I just kind of like, I put those two artists kind of like, I pair them up, so I've just kind of assumed that they'll be releasing stuff around about the same time, which I'll be very happy about, because I really did like Bravado, just so cheesy and charismatic. Like, it would be weird of me not to be looking forward to a new Karen J. Callanan album. Lana Del Rey, who is somebody I wouldn't have expected to be put on a list like this, her latest singles have been phenomenal, so yeah, I would be very, very happy to actually listen to a new Lana Del Rey album the day it comes out. 48, I put La Dispute, who are putting out something this year. Granted, I haven't listened to the new singles yet, which I really should do, but I really like their debut album, so I've got high hopes. I have listened to other albums as well, but I need to actually do a full revisit. But in terms of how kind of like screamo, kind of hardcore music goes, they're making some of the best, so I think I'm right to be hyped for this. And next up, I put LaRue, who has been taking her sweet time. I don't know if she actually is making anything, maybe she just gave up, but Trouble in Paradise was her album in 2014, I want to say. So yeah, 5 years. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something there. Lizzo as well, she had the song Boys last year and just had Juice this year. She's getting a lot of traction, but I find her so charming, energetic, just really a breath of fresh air, so I really am excited to see what she does. I put Doom Eternal here by Mick Gordon. If you guys watched my 5 essential video game soundtracks video, you'll have remembered Mick Gordon's name, who did the Doom soundtrack. It was just so creative, and Doom Eternal is a sequel to that game, which means we will get a new album from him in conjunction with that, and I'm hoping it'll be just as inspired and original. Inspired and original, that sounds like two contradictions, but I mean that there's obvious inspirations with metal music, but also like original ways of executing that, which yeah, that'll be exciting. More in baseball, I hope they come back, because I'm missing them big time. My favourite Philly boys. 53, I put My Bloody Valentine, because this isn't an album that seems to be getting brought up a lot in a lot of different lists, and I just kind of thought to myself, well, I really do like Loveless a lot. I want to put them on here because I think Kevin Shields has said he is working on something, but they do take their sweet time, don't they? So maybe this will be a 2020 album instead of a 2019 one. But I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. And the National are releasing something at some point this year. They are doing a lot of touring. They're coming to Glasgow for 2 nights as well. So I think we'll see something coming out during summer. It's gonna be my guess. I wonder if I'll be right there. Then at 55, I put Petite Noir, who had an EP out last year that I praised quite a fair bit. And yeah, I think maybe we can see an album from him coming out as well. I'm very excited to see where he goes next, because I just find him just so enthralling and captivating, and he just has such a voice on him. We know we're getting a pop album called Morbid Stuff. I put these guys on my list last year. So I'm glad that I'm not having to wait too long in between those two lists. 57 Remo Drive, their EP came in a bit lukewarm last year, but I did see them live, and they did say they were showing off some new stuff, and it did sound quite good live. I can say that much. I think they always put a great live show on, so it'll be interesting to see how things have changed when this new album comes out. I think it's fairly certain we're getting RTJ4 in and pretty much every RTJ album has been pretty damn good. LP and Killer Mike, just a perfect duo right there. Skepta, I think we'll be seeing something from him. Konnichiwa came out in 2016, and he's been busy, but I think he's kind of been taking a bit more quietly just now, so I think we can expect to see something from him. And Konnichiwa was one of the best grime albums of the past, well, since grime's had this revival, it was one of the better ones, so I think everyone kind of should be excited to see where he goes. At 60, I've put The Streets. Mike's been touring a hell of a lot, but I feel like he can't be doing this without having some sort of thing in the works, and The Streets have produced some of the best British albums of all time, so yeah, I think I'm right to put them on this list just now, because I think it will end up happening. 61, I put Sophie, because I think it was that she said that she was going to release 3 albums in 2018, and we only got 1, but that one was fantastic, so I think we can expect to see something there. 62, we've got Tame Impala, they're headlining Primavera, so I think they'll release this new album, the follow up to Currents, just before then, or around about that same time. 63, I've put Tom York, because apparently we're due a Tom York album before we are a Radiohead album. His Suspiria soundtrack was pretty damn good. I've not even watched the movie yet, but the soundtrack I thought was right up my street, so this whole album's along those lines of being creative and just utterly compelling, then we're in for a treat there. 64, put Tushy Amore. They released the song Green last year. I don't know if that will end up being like a single that will end up appearing on this, but I do think that we can. I think it's more likely that we'll see something than we won't see something. Sort of as a dog barking outside. I don't know if that's going to get picked up. 65, Tyler the Creator. Flower Boy was just great, beautiful, just better than I think anyone ever expected his music to be. And he works quite quick as well, so I think we'll see a follow-up to Flower Boy fairly soon. Father of the Bride by Vampire Weekend, it should be coming out in March or April, I think, but Harmony Hall was just incredible. If you haven't already watched my review of it, you can go do so. I was just so happy with that, and I think this will be the wait between this and Modern Vampires of the City will have been worth it, I think. The Vegan Leather, who are another Scottish band, they make kind of electro synth pop music that's just so full of energy. The band themselves are just really, really charismatic, and I think that kind of translates to their music. So I think this will be something that you guys should also listen to, but I'll probably review it, and then hopefully that'll have some of you going to give it a wee bit of a go. At 68, we've got Vince Staples. He seems to have a pattern of you release an album, then an EP the following year, and then an album, and it usually works out quite well for him. We had FM in 2018, so I'm hoping to see something a lot more experimental, something that feels like quite a follow-up to Big Fish Theory, which was my favourite album of 2017. And at 69, I've put Weezer with the Black Album, because I like Weezer. I did a whole video ranking their discography, and Zombie Bastards as well as Can't Knock the Hustle were 2 pretty good singles. I'll just go ahead and say that, because that's exactly how I feel about it. So I think Black Album will be near the quality of the White Album. It'll make up for Pacific Daydream, and I don't think Teal Album is that bad a record, but we'll get into that when it comes to the roundup in about next week's time. But yeah guys, that's been 69 albums that I'm excited for in 2019. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope the dog barking outside didn't get picked up. I'm sure they're pretty cute, so it won't matter anyway. But I'll see you guys very soon for a new video. As always, stay safe and stay hydrated.